Alright, so the first thing I want you to recognize, well, if we normally draw with construction lines with a light pencil like so, but I find that light construction lines with pencil don't show up very well on this recorder over the camera. So I'm going to use green pen to represent our construction lines in this video. So the next thing you need to see is if we cut this in half at this point, it would clearly have the same outline as before. There's nothing in the back that's not in the front. Therefore, we could just draw construction lines around the whole thing and add object lines that would just be the big rectangular shape of the outline. So I'm going to go ahead and just add that first real quick just to get started. And make it an object line. Now, the next thing you might be wondering is, well, what's going on with the cutting plane line, Mr. Anderson? When I look at it, it's at the side view. Isn't it normally at the top view? Does that change anything? And it would if it was at a different location in the center. But it's still cutting through the same location right in the middle of the depth. Therefore, it doesn't change anything. And you need to be aware that it doesn't matter where you put your cutting plane line. The rules for the cutting plane line still work the same way. So now, let's start looking at each component to this shape. So first off, what is this big circle that's not really a complete circle? What are we looking at? Well, if you look in your isometric view, you can see it. It's this platform right here. I can see the beginning and the end. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the tangent to the left face because that would be the edge that we could see in the section. I'm going to draw it as a construction line straight down. I'm going to do the same thing with this circular hole here, which is a lower hole. I'm going to draw the tangent down for that. For that matter, I'll draw the other tangent of this circle on the other side, straight down. Now, if you notice, what is this shape making when the circle meets this line? Well, it's making this edge right here. And if I cut it in half, then I can see that edge. So I need a construction line to tell me where that edge goes. Next, we're going to add a tangent to this circle here. And now, this next part's going to seem confusing at first, so I need you to pay very close attention. A millimeter to the right of that last construction line is an intersection. We need that construction line. So right here and right here, it's slightly to the side of that tangent. We need a construction line going straight down. It's not going to seem like much at first, but just off to the side of that first construction line, we should have a second one going to the right. And I want to pull up Autodesk to show you what exactly that construction line is for and why we care. So if you look at it, make it full screen over here. When we look at the inside, if you notice, these two lines are not the same line. The question is why? And the answer is kind of obvious if you think about it. Because of that arc. Do you see how this curves inward a little bit? Therefore, this edge and this line are not at the same place. So they need to be separate lines. So, all right, what's next? Well, what we need to look at now is how deep each hole goes. So, for example, this circular hole, this small, complete circular hole, goes all the way through. I can tell because of my hidden lines going all the way through. You might say, well, Mr. Anderson, that's great, but I look at this circle in the top view, and I can see it makes a full circle. But in the isometric view, it doesn't make a full circle. It makes a half circle. It sort of makes this ovular shape. But you can see that oval shape right here. That means at the end of this shorter platform, it ends as a hole. Okay. So then we see the heights. This platform that ends at this hole on the right needs to go to the right. Or go to the left, I'm sorry. And we need this platform as well. We need this height. But you need to be aware that this hole starts at the left the top platform, it starts at the right at the bottom platform as we draw. So now I can start sketching. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and start with this edge right here. What does that edge become? Well, that edge is right here along this construction line, so it's going to go down. Where does it end? At this platform, right here. So it goes all the way down, and then what does it do? It goes to the left. So will we. And where does this platform end? Well, if we follow the platform to the edge, what ends at our hole? We got that construction line already. But here's the next thing. Do you see how this line actually goes past that hole here? Why? Look back at Autodesk and let's see if we can figure it out. Do you see how this line exists past the beginning of our hole? Why? Because from the side, this cylinder, this hole, it looks like a line to us from our section view. You'll see how it just looks like a line? Look at it again closely. This edge passes the beginning of our hole. Therefore, we need another construction line to tell us where this line ends. And it's right at the center. It's at this intersection right here. So we draw that construction line straight down. And that is where this object line ends. Next, I see this platform. I have all the construction lines I need to draw it. I can see it starts here and ends here. Those 2 points are, well, we follow our construction line here, and then on the left, it starts here and ends here. And again, those 2 points are at this construction line and this construction line here and here. I just draw that as a rectangle because that's what it'll look like from a section view. This hole starts at the height of this platform. So we just go straight down, and our hidden lines tell us it goes all the way to the bottom. This hole, on the right side, the same hole, starts at the height of our platform, right here, and goes all the way to the bottom. And the only thing we're missing is where it ends down here. You can see that this shape would go all the way to the bottom, but where? Well, at our zigzag here. We talked about it earlier. This curve is a little bit to the left of this intersection. So at this point, it would go straight down. So what are we looking at here is this curve here. And then all we're missing are section lines. Where did we cut out? We did not cut out here. That's hollow. We did not cut out here. That's hollow. This is this big hole. That's hollow. And this was this arc here. So that's hollow. So the rest is section. So that would be this rectangle. And over here, this is also section. And the rest is empty on the inside.